streaming here on YouTube.
All right, so we are live and we see participants coming.
Hi everyone. Thank you so much for joining. I'm just setting up the live stream on YouTube as well because folks are waiting for us to join us there as well. Yeah, awesome. We are like there. Welcome everyone. And I see the number of participants is increasing as we are moving closer to starting the session. So let me just quickly introduce myself. My name is Rasha Khan and I'm joining all the way from Bangalore, India. And would love to know where are you joining us from on the chat here. So let's interact a bit before we start the session. So I'm also putting down my introduction on the chat here. And you can see I'm joining from Bangalore, India. You can also let us know by letting us know you're here by dropping us a hello on the chat. And you can let us know your name and where are you tuning in from on the chat here. And folks who are watching us live on our YouTube channel as well, you can also let us know where are you joining us from your name on the YouTube live chat box. So let me just quickly also open the chat box. Also, we have a very interesting topic today we'll be covering. So we'll be covering a free project demo. We'll be covering how to think like a product manager to boost user engagement on Netflix. So this is a Netflix case study, which is a part of the SP Jain's product management course as well. We'll be talking more about the course followed by the project demo. And we have our expert speaker, Suryansh Choudhary, here with us, which I'll be introducing you to pretty soon. Meanwhile, I see a lot of introductions have already started coming in. Let me quickly move to the next slide and take you through the ground rules of the session here. So in case you have any questions for our expert or me, you can put on your questions in the Q&A box. Now, why the Q&A box? You can see we have so many amazing introductions in chat happening on the webinar chat box. So we actually might miss your questions there. So we want to make sure that we don't miss them. So please move them to the Q&A box on Zoom. And folks on YouTube can just basically post their questions on the live chat and we'll pick it up from there. And the session is being recorded in case you want to go through the recording of the session once again, in case you have missed anything. So please don't worry. We will send you a follow-up email with the recording link to view. And also, there is a webinar certificate for attending the webinar. For that, you'll have to stay till the end. So this session is 60 minutes long. And basically, once the session is about to end, I'll be launching a webinar poll to basically, capture your full name. We'll be talking more about that. I'll share these ground rules on the chat as well, in case you have missed it, because I see a lot of new folks are joining in and giving their introductions on the chat there. And this program and webinar is powered by Simplilearn, world's #1 online bootcamp. We have been in the digital skills training space for more than a decade now. And we are very proud that we have transformed lives of empowering people. And the skill we'll be talking about today is the product management skill. And this is the certificate of participation you'll be getting. And you can see this is what basically I need from you, your name. And this will be for the topic of the event today. And you can see the accreditations here from Simplilearn. Also, what you can do is you can also share your certificate on LinkedIn. People are already doing that. People are actually sharing on LinkedIn, and they're also sharing insights about the sessions. They're taking screenshots of the sessions as well. So you can do all of these, and you can share it on LinkedIn, tag our Simplilearn handle, and also our expert Suryansh Choudhary. And you can use the hashtag SimplyGrow. That is how you can find others as well. I'll share this link on the chat shortly. Just don't want to distract the session right now from the agenda. So you can find hundreds of people are already following this hashtag. We have 250 plus posts happening there, and you can globally connect with folks using this hashtag. Go and support them. Connect with like-minded folks, and you can also share details there. I think before we start the session, let's quickly do a quick poll here. So now that I see a lot of amazing introductions from you on the chat here, let me also understand how many years of experience do you currently have. So interestingly, people join us, from different places, and they also come from, different set of experience as well. So I've just launched this poll, and you can select the option which is most suitable to you. And meanwhile, also let me just quickly go through the chat, your introductions. Let's see. Okay, I see a lot of hellos here. I see someone has written Mumbai. I see Pratas has joined us from Bengaluru. Uh, I see Jaypal says, good evening. Would love to know where are you joining us from. Supriya says, I'm a graphic designer from Kolkata. Welcome, Supriya. SK Patnaik says, is joining from Bangalore. I see someone has joined us from Jaipur, Rajasthan. Amok from Pune.
I
Akash
think we
from
are covering the almost entire country. I see people from Maharashtra, we see from Bangalore, Karnataka.
Yes, and Chandigarh, Kolkata. Thank you so much, folks. I see a lot of new folks have joined in. So you can also put on your introduction on the chat here. In case you have missed the ground rules here, what I'll do is I'll share them with you on the chat once again. So let me do that quickly. And 10 more seconds for the poll here because I see most of you responded. So I'm sharing the ground rules on the chat here, folks, for who have missed them. So we just covered that. Awesome. I think most of you responded for the poll here. So last 5 seconds for the poll. Nija, you can share it on the chat as well. It's okay. Last 5 seconds for the poll here. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let me quickly end the poll and share the results with you folks here and our expert Suryansh as well. Let's see what have you voted for. So 37% of you have less than 2 years of experience. 21% of you have 2 to 5 years of experience. And 26% of you have 6 to 10 years of experience. And 16% of you have more than 10 years of experience. So thank you so much for sharing that with us. And a lot of responses in the chat as well. Jaypal says 10 years, Soumya says 4 years in different fields. And Mohsen says 5 years, and Nija says 6 to 10 years. So thank you so much for sharing that. Now, quickly moving on towards the agenda of the session. So first and the most important agenda of the session is about you, getting to know a little bit about you, how we can help you out in your career better, and address any kind of questions you might have as well during the session. Also, we'll be covering the project demo topic, which I mentioned earlier. We'll be covering a Netflix case study, how to think like a product manager to boost user engagement. And this project is basically from the SP Jain product management program. So followed by this project demo, we'll be covering what this program by SP Jain offers in product management, how this program gets you future ready, and we'll be sharing the learner outcomes with you. What exactly are the learners saying? You can directly hear it from them directly. And based on the enrollment interest you share towards the program, we'll be quickly taking you to the enrollment steps. And last but not least, the Q&A. So the Q&A is secured towards the end in order to make sure that we're able to address all of your questions which you get throughout the session. So please make sure to move your questions towards the Q&A box. Folks who have joined us on Zoom. And yeah, with this, I would love to welcome Suryansh Choudhary here, who's the expert speaker for this webinar. Suryansh would like to quickly also introduce you. So Suryansh here is a former product owner at Accenture. He's headed product teams in tech and edtech sector. He's also a seasoned trainer at Simplilearn, entrepreneur and trainer for business schools. And he has 5+ years of corporate and product trainings as well. Again, like this is what you see on the screen here, but I'm pretty sure there is more. That is something we'll get to know from Suryansh. So welcome,
Thank
Suryansh.
you. Thank you so much, Rasha. Hello, learners. Suryansh this side, and I am joining from Gurgaon. So, if anyone of you is from Gurgaon, you can message in the chat box right away. I started my career as a product owner at Accenture, and as we proceed with the session, I'll give you a glimpse as you step in the shoes of the product manager to solve a real life case study. This is one of the capstones that we discuss with all learners from SPJN's course, and I personally conduct these capstone project sessions. I conduct sessions on all the 4 tools that we study together, and I'm also responsible for clarifying any doubts related to capstone projects. All right. Thanks, learners. Thanks, Rasha.
Thank you so much, Suryansh, for introduction. And we'll be quickly moving on towards the first, basically a second agenda of the session, talking about the project demo, the Netflix case study, how to think like a product manager to boost user engagement. So over to you, Suryansh.
Thank you so much, Rasha. Learners, here's a quick question coming up on your screen. Let's see how many of you are able to answer that. Rasha, can we go to the next one, please? How many of you use Netflix? Come on, go on. It's fine, Rasha, if they share passwords with their friends and family. All right,
I
learners,
was
just go ahead.
thinking,
All right, let's see. Let's see. Yes, I think go ahead, learners. We'll just quickly have a small warm up as we go on and see the real case study. All right. Okay. Okay. I see good learners, good responses, and let's. I guess everyone, right? Not me, but there are some learners. Not me. All right. I used to, but not now. Prashant. Remember, learners, we need to keep special focus on Prashant because we have to work for users like Prashant so that we can get them back to Netflix.
I
All
also
right.
used to, and then I stopped in between and then went back. Again, like
Just
that is
went
the
back.
same
Okay,
thing.
so we need to focus learners on users like Rasha and Prashant now. All right, Rasha, let's go to the next question and let's see what answers do we get. What's your favorite show and movie or movie on Netflix? Mine is Kota Factory. Go ahead, learners. Let's see what answers you've got. The Crown. Okay. The 100. Okay. Kota Factory. Thanks, Abhishek. Learners. Okay. Monk. Friends. Emily in Paris. Okay. What else? What else? What else are we getting? Go ahead, learners. Tell me about your favorite shows. Hunt for Virappan. Okay. Stranger Things. That's great. What else? Stranger Things. Okay. Gunjan Saxena. All right. Good movie. Money Heist. The House of. Okay. Hereditary. There are many suits. Coda Factory. Loki. Squid Games. I watched only the games. I
Mhm.
forwarded the show to watch only the games. Good, Nikita. Any other learner would like to give an answer? All right. Thank you. Thank you. Now, since we are getting good answers, and Rasha, I think almost all learners are saying that we use Netflix, Suryansh, and almost everyone uses. These are our favorite. Mrs. Chan and Mrs. Mai, Extraction. Okay. These are favorite shows. Then I don't know why do we have the situation that we're going to see in the next slide. Rasha, can we go to the next one? Why do you think then users are inactive? See, I see most of you are active and you use Netflix, but here's a small question for you. Then why are some users inactive on Netflix? Can anyone answer this question? You're free to answer it in the chat box, learners. Quick. Why do you think users are inactive? Let's see. Let's see what answers you. It's about time. That's a good answer, Jitu. You're saying that it's no ID sharing available now. I think you got out the real answer, Ruchi. Go ahead, learners. What else? What else? Maybe pricing. I use only weekends. No subscription. I didn't get the question. All right. The question over here is that if, let's say, Suryansh or Rasha, they purchase subscription of Netflix, and despite purchasing the subscription, we are not using it. We've paid in India. I think it's for 649 per month, I suppose, and we pay 649, but we still don't watch it. That's the question. Why is that happening? People are paying but still not using it. No ID sharing, bandwidth issue. All right, content. All right, maybe the content is not no time. All right, limitation of content. Well, thank you. We should not share this subscription to anyone. Time. Not good content. All right. Thanks. I pay 199 but not using it much because of time. I think Rasha, we are dealing with pretty busy people. Therefore, we need to hurry up and get to the capstone now. Thank you,
Yeah.
learners. Now just have a look at my screen. I'm sharing my screen. And Rasha, maybe you can stop sharing. I'll quickly, open the capstone now.
Sure. I've stopped sharing it. Go ahead.
Perfect.
Yep. Folks, for the project demo part, you can interact directly with Suryansh on the chat here. And after that, please make sure, to put down your questions in the Q&A box.
Thanks, Rasha. Learners, I hope my screen is visible and here's your situation. The situation is Netflix, which is, let's say, a OTT streaming platform. Now, learners, whenever we discuss any capstone in our SP Gen course, all right, the capstone usually begins with something known as a very simple overview and summary. Very common name Netflix. Therefore, we spend very less time in overview and summary, which says that small introduction of, let's say, what Netflix is or what any other company is. It says, okay, although it was launched on this date, the growth began in around April 2003. Now people use Netflix on mobile phones whenever they travel. Therefore, you get a small brief of what company we are discussing about and a small history about the same. Next comes up is current state, wherein we discuss mainly about the financials, the geographical locations where, let's say, a particular product is present, and at the same time, is there any problem that the company is facing as of now? For example, as we scroll down, we see that recently identified that the company has many inactive users. All right. For example, 10% of the total Netflix users are currently inactive. Therefore, the current state usually ends in some kind of a problem. And future state is this. Future state says that in the coming years, Netflix would like to reach this kind of a situation. Now, this could be anything. This could be, let's say, if we talk of a company like Nike, Nike could say the future state should be that we launch more tech-based products to build a community and enhance our direct to sales channels. Instead of depending on other e-commerce platforms, let's have our own direct to sales channels which have the maximum market share. So it could be anything. For Tesla, it could be having, let's say, every 1 out of 3 EVs sold should be of a Tesla, something like that. Over here we see that it wants to ensure that users are active on the platform. That's what they're clearly saying. They know that it's not 100% possible to have all users active. That's the reason not more than 5 users are inactive. They have set a target for the future state that not more than 5% users should be inactive. In the current state, they have told that Suryansh, 10% users are inactive, and in future I want that number to be reduced to 5%. Please help me in bringing this 10% inactive users to 5% inactive users. That's what Netflix capstone is all about. They are saying today we have got 10% users who are inactive. I want you to do something so that the inactive users instead of 10% become 5%. And these are certain, what do you call, business as usual or certain conditions that are given to you. It says that in the past 6 months, competitors have found nothing new. Therefore, whatever we see as business as usual, Amazon Prime, Disney Plus, Hotstar, so on and so forth, they all are doing same. Nothing new has come up. No new feature has been launched by any mobile apps or websites, and no significant shows. Out of the box, nothing has happened in the world. Also, they've given you a clear definition which says, Rasha, active means that a user is logging in. Now, one thing, quick question for you all learners. Let's see, all Netflix users. Can you watch Netflix without buying the subscription? Yes or no? In India, I don't know about US and other countries, but let's say if what your responses is depending on the country you're answering from. No, 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 no. So we see many learners joining from India. They say that no, you can't watch Netflix without actually buying a subscription plan, right? That's right. Prince, you can't. Okay, maybe if you're joining from about outside India, then maybe it's possible. But in India, you can't watch Netflix without actually having an active subscription. All right. The question says, now listen to this carefully, learners. It says active user is a user who is logging in. Now, when you say the person has logged in, that means the person has already paid. Therefore, that person is very happy to pay you 199 rupees per month, 649 rupees per month, depending on his choice. We are not really concerned about the plan or the subscription that we are looking at. We are only concerned whether you are paying or not. The user over here has paid, learners. But despite paying, that user is not watching even one show. It could be a possibility that, let's say, we have got Nikita or we have got Prince, they're pretty busy. They've kept auto debit on their uh, credit card, and Netflix keeps on deducting 199 or 649. They're pretty busy in their work, and the moment they get back home, they look at their messages and they say, oh, 649 rupees gone. I need to cancel this subscription, but suddenly they get another call or maybe they get in some other work, they forget about it. That could be one reason that the money is getting deducted and they're not only watching. Another reason could be that, let's say, you're not finding content. Could be anything. The question over here is that the person has paid, and despite paying, the person is not using your product. Now, I don't know it's a good thing or a bad thing, but in the long term, it's not at all a good thing because sometime or the other, the user will stop paying you. All right. Since we're discussing this capstone and we've got somewhere around an hour or so, we'll come directly to the main focus area, which we will solve with hands-on experience today. Task. Now, learners, what I request you do is it's 21:20. I'll give you, let's say, 2 or 3 minutes time. I want you to quickly read this paragraph. That's it. Then I'll talk. All right, Rasha, let's give every learner around 2 to 3 minutes time. And let's have a small silence over here so that learners can quickly read this paragraph, starting from over here for this project, ending till here. All right, take your time, learners. You got a couple of minutes. Just read it, nothing else. I'll also stay on mute. We'll give a minute more to everyone. If you have read learners, just type yes in the chat box so that 1 month. Someone asked this question: how much time account is inactive? Since Netflix charges monthly subscription uh, stamp, 1 month. So 1 month you paid for the subscription, but you didn't use it at all. We'll give 30 more seconds and then we'll discuss. Keep typing yes, learners. We have 10 more seconds. All right. Thank you so much. Now, learners, in this capstone, as we see, we have read earlier that 10% of the total Netflix users are inactive. That's what they have told in the current state. Our situation or our problem over here is you need to investigate this problem. That means first drill down, identify the problem, next identify issues, solutions matrix. We'll go one by one in tackling each of the deliverables that are mentioned over here. Also, learners, I'll just give you a quick question. You need to answer it in the chat box. How will you submit the capstone? Let's say Netflix, you're applying for Netflix as a role of a product manager. Netflix is giving you this capstone. What formats? Maybe you will submit a video, or how will you submit this capstone? Say you have solved this capstone. How will you do that? Just type how will you do that in the chat box. You'll maybe submit a PPT with your answer. How would you do that, learners? Just go ahead and type it in the chat box. PDF. Thank you, Ruchi. Hurry up, learners. PPT. Go ahead. You don't need to think. Write what comes to your mind. Maybe you can write a mail, PDF, present Tableau. All right. It may be a PPT, flowchart, PDF. Good. Someone could say that video. Understood. Now here's a question, learners. Remember, uh, just out of curiosity, how many of you would like to work at a product company like Netflix? Quickly speak up. Yes or no, right? If given a chance, you would love to be a part of a product-based company like Netflix, Meta. Now, do you think person evaluating or looking for the job, looking for a product manager has got time to evaluate 1000 entries that have come up? Let's say you have sent a PDF, you send a PPT. Do you think I will have the patience if I'm evaluating to read every line given by every learner if there are 1000 answers? Maybe the first 10 I'll do it very passionately, but the moment I go up till 375th entry, 400th entry, do you think I'll have that much enthusiasm? No. Therefore, by the time we end this session, we'll create this capstone in such a way that your capstone stands out from whatever others have shared. All right. Now let's start. With this quick issue, and if you all learners are good to go, what is the situation? Just type yes in the chat box. That yes, Suryansh, we are good to go. Let's start working on the capstone and let's solve it. Learners, by the way, this is how the real session is also conducted in SPGen's course, because I personally conduct those sessions. The only thing is that learners can speak and they need to speak. In my session, they need to speak with their videos on. All right, here we go, learners. Let's see. I'll quickly open a whiteboard and I'll be giving you questions. You need to keep typing your answers, and I'll be writing your answers on my whiteboard. All right, learners. The question for you all, the first question for you all that you need to help is: users are inactive. All right. As product managers at Netflix, please tell me, how will you investigate this problem as to why this person is inactive? Go ahead, give me your answers. You could say that you could look at his search history, so on and so forth. Give me answers. How will you determine that why this person is inactive? Survey, good. Keep sending your answers, learners. I'll keep writing. Poll, that's great. Life cycle analysis, that's great. What else? Sorry, don't mind my handwriting, even I can't read it. Go ahead, learners, hurry up. We have survey, good. What else, learners? Survey, okay, we have covered survey. Feedback, user personas, okay, you're going to create user personas and you're going to have feedbacks taken from user. What else, learners? What else will you do? Survey and poll, great. What else? Google form, all right, works well. It's kind of a survey. What else, learners? You need to identify why this person is inactive. That means the person is paying and still not interview. That's good answer. So you'll take some people and you'll start interviewing them. Competitive analysis. Okay, that's great. All right, customer journey. All right, user journey mapping. I'll keep it over here. User journey mapping, user feedback, survey poll to inactive users. Also, go ahead, go ahead, go ahead. All okay. What else? What else? What else? Empathy map, user feedbacks. Okay, go ahead. Questionnaires, questionnaires. All right. Great. History analysis. What stuffs they like. Perfect. Now, learners, stop. Stop. Let's say you're mentioning that Suryansh, we're going to use these methods to investigate as to why this person is inactive. All right. Maybe I can ask Suryansh, just answer this survey. You have been inactive on Netflix for quite some time. Maybe I'll send a poll across. Maybe, I'll do some user mapping. I'll do some life cycle analysis. I'll take feedback and all. Perfect. Learners, this was your level one. Okay. Let's increase the level. No? We are at level two. The question over here is the same question, think better. For example, if I would like to know why the person is inactive, one way is I can see whether that person, or let's say that person is Akshay or that person is Chirag, have they searched something multiple times and they were still not able to find anything related to that. That's the reason they didn't watch anything. So maybe using their search history, I can figure out why they were inactive. This could be one way. Now think and now start answering what better ideas you can come up. Feedback surveys, easy answers, polls, interviews, done. Now think more. Excellent user experience. It's good. Maybe the phone user experience or the iPad user experience is not up to the mark. Good, good. User interest. Okay, we are not matching the interest of the users. Okay. All right. Easy user interaction. We have covered user. Good, good. Hurry up now, learners. Keep giving me more answers. Streaming quality. That's very good answer, Pratap. Maybe, I'm paying for HD, but my net connection is, not even allowing me to watch. Therefore, it's an issue over here. Good. Technical problems. That's good. Maybe while watching on my iPad, it's creating a problem. That's good. Users interest. Okay. What else? Bad recommend. Excellent answer. Bad recommendations. Bad recommendations. Okay. As per watching history, there is not much content. All right, content issue. We have a serious content problem. Great, great. Getting what they want on other platforms. That's a very good answer. That, other platforms do the job better. See, learners, now I'll take a moment's pause. The moment you sign in to Netflix, you give access to Netflix to almost all data that is there on your phone. Let's say you've given access to Netflix or whatever data is there, and you are watching Amazon Prime on phone. Netflix knows you're watching Amazon Prime. Netflix knows what show you are watching and what are the shows that you keep on watching on any platform. Therefore, good that we can come to know what the user is watching on other platforms. Good answers, learners. Now, using these techniques, we can figure out why a person, despite paying, continues to remain inactive. All right. Price of the competitors. Bhard, I would not say price because the user has already paid. The user has already paid, so he's happy with the price. He's saying, I'll pay you, but I'll still not watch. Now learners, we'll take a pause and we've taken this issue very well, which says that we'll drill down and identify the problem using the ways that we just discussed. All right, I'll just, make it better clear. Yes. Now we have drilled down and we have using this way, we'll identify the problem. Learners, if you're clear till now, type yes in the chat box, quick. That yes, Suryansh, we're clear till now. The way we've taken up, we're clear. Great. Now, learners, did you notice something that in the entire procedure, I just maybe made a circle and made some arrows around it? Usually it's given a term called mind mapping. All right. But don't worry about the jargons. We'll discuss a lot more on this as we proceed with the session. All right. Just ensure one thing, that at no point of time I made some bullet points. All right. Usually we give a bullet points kind of a scenario, right? In a PPT, in a PDF, that's how we work. We give bullet points. But just notice something, that we're not doing any of these things over here. I'll tell you how this will help you when you are giving the final solution for capstone. All right. Just let's come over here. Now we know how to identify the problem, that using these techniques we'll identify why the person is not active on Netflix. All right. Issues you all have clearly told. These two answers are similar. Issues you have clearly told, that Suryansh, new arrivals, streaming quality, user experience, the content is not local. What I feel is that other platforms, especially for India, with the case of India, other platforms offer a more localized content through which we can connect better as compared to Netflix. Netflix comes as more of a premium based streaming services. For example, look at their show Squid Game, Stranger Things. They're more of like more of Western or outside India. If you look at Amazon Prime and all, they offer a little bit more Indianized content. Although those things changed when Quota Factory was launched by Netflix, but still the other platforms offer more content to connect with local audience. Another thing is that someone mentioned content. Learners, quick question for you. What is one content where Netflix, Prime, or any of the streaming platforms, they don't need to create content? The content is already there and people will automatically come and watch it no matter what happens, and you will get viewership in crores and crores. Can anyone answer me what content can it be? Viewers will come on their own. They'll and match. Great. So sports is something which Netflix doesn't have as of now. And the sports factor, Geo Cinema, Disney Hotstar have the major chunk of, especially cricket. That's the reason people keep coming more, and they don't need to worry about people coming or not. Whatever UI UX they've got, they'll still come, they'll still watch it. So that's another reason why people remain inactive on Netflix, because there is not something live or there is not something to look forward to. For example, if IPL season comes in, Cricket World Cup comes in, things will go on and on for Geo Cinema for 1 month. They don't need to worry about user engagement. All right. So learners, very well done on identifying issues. All right. Now learners, before I jump into the next part, which is solutions, my small my small request, with you all is, if you want, you can take a screenshot of my bad handwriting, but no, it's not going to be of any use. So the issues we have identified, learners, just for everyone's, awareness, or those who have joined late, I'll just mention over here some issues, right? So you just mentioned that recommendation engine not working fine. Don't type anything, learners, for a moment, all right? So you've mentioned that recommendation engine is not working fine. You have mentioned tech issues, and you have mentioned UI UX problems. Then you've also mentioned local, let's say, content is not up to the mark. Then you have mentioned streaming quality. Then you've mentioned bad recommendations we've already covered. Streaming quality, technical problems we have covered. Anything else, learners, apart from this that I've missed? Maybe why users are inactive. So let's keep it over here. Device change. All right. So we have got these issues. The
Uh,
issues
uh, so,
are,
so
yeah,
sorry
Rasha.
to interfere, Suryansh. Actually, you're sending it to the only host and panelist,
Okay.
the messages
So,
in the
all right,
chat.
all right. Good
You
that
can
you
send it to
highlighted.
everyone.
You can highlight it. I'll just, where is everyone? Okay, here's everyone. Learners, I'll send the message again. Recommendation engine, tech issues, content poor, and streaming quality, and we've got UI UX problem. These are some broad categorical based issues that you identify. Keep this in mind, learners. All right. This will help you when we come to the next part. Now, learners, I'll tell you one quick small thing, and you need to listen to this very carefully. How many of you have it's a different from this capstone, but it will give you a hint of what I'm trying to say. How many of you have heard of this brand called Lexus? Lexus. Absolutely right. It's a car brand, right? Learners, what happened when Lexus, they were launching, Toyota was launching Lexus. instead of going to different, what do you say, other luxury automobile companies like Daimler, BMW, what they did, they went to fine dining restaurants, and over there they saw how they were being treated. They thought we should implement this kind of personal treatment when we built our Lexus showrooms. Therefore, learners, a concept which was there in one part of a different industry got implemented in completely different industry, which is automobiles. Think whatever out of box answers you can think of. All right, do not constrain yourself by saying, because the question is of a recommendation engine. Don't constrain your thoughts by saying that we'll look at your previous history and then we'll give you a good recommendation. That's quite obvious. Learners, the next challenge over here is, which is kind of level 3 for you. Please tell me, how will you improve the recommendation engine of Netflix? Go ahead. Let's see what answers do we get, Rasha, over here. Any answers from you, learners? Recommendation engine needs to be improved of Netflix. How can you do that? Let's talk of recommendation engine. Okay, you're saying improving the user interface. All right, let's keep UI. You'll improve the UI of the recommendation engine. Perfect. What else? Go ahead, learners. Improve interactions with content. Shaheen. Okay, that's maybe if you could elaborate a little bit more, all of us can understand. Option for auto paying system. Vivek is saying Jonna by improving relevant notifications. How, Avnish? How will you give relevant notifications? They're already giving you, according to them, they're already using some kind of an AI in background, and they're already giving you good recommendations. This is what they feel. But now we are getting answers that it is not the recommendation that they want, that users want. Improve suggestion of latest. How are you going to improve? How are you going to make me watch? As of now, whatever algorithm you're using, I'm not happy with the recommendation engine. Relevant notifications. How are you going to decide whether this is relevant or not? Content should provide information, ask for feedback in real time. That's great. So we'll have real time feedback. Okay. Based on search history, cross app streaming. That's great. So cross app streaming. That's a good answer. Because you watched, maybe that's already there, Suchita. By because you watched, you may like this. That's already there. Basic past analysis. Now learners think more. Okay, here's a question for you. Do you watch any show on Netflix or Prime and then you discuss it with friends? Yes or no? We all do. My own friend circle. Yes or no? Go ahead. Yes, right. And let's say we all are sitting together, all friends or office colleagues, and someone says, "Hey, you must watch Stranger Things." The next thing is, maybe if there are 10 people in the group, one or two will go ahead and watch, right? Because a friend has recommended. How many of you feel that while scrolling your social media, if someone from your friend circle has gone to, let's say, Singapore or has gone to Thailand, how many of you feel that you should also be going there and you communicate with them, hey, how much did this trip cost you? Type your answers, yes or no. Me, right? It's quite obvious. Whenever a friend switches a job, whenever a friend or a someone from our contact goes to a new country, travels, so on and so forth, obviously we get in touch with them and know what's happening. Therefore, can recommendation system have some kind of a friend's recommendation? Now, learners, think more. Think more how you can make the recommendation engine better. Introducing small games. That's good, Nirja. That we'll introduce small games to have better engagement and better, okay, mouth to mouth marketing. How do you do that, Akshay? That is something that people will do. How should the product do? Excellent. So someone has mentioned international watch party or recommendation list. Okay, that's good. Internationally watched. Learners, just change your message to everyone. Don't message only to host and panelists. Message to everyone. Make more regional. So you're saying Supriyo talk more on the recommendation engine. We'll come to content in some time. Content issue we'll discuss. You two hosts agree international. Okay. Next learner. People can see their favorite stars. Excellent answer. Who said this? I think Nisha gave a good answer, Asha. She says that, you know, why don't we have Virat Kohli or maybe Amitabh Bachchan Recommending content on Netflix. That's a good one. Stars or celebrities recommendation. Good. Okay, finding information from search engines. That good. That's good, Prashant. Maybe if someone is looking for a book of Harry Potter, they can get a recommendation to watch a Harry Potter movie. That's good, Prashant. Search engine. That's good. Okay. Hurry up, learners. Any other answers? We can study user behavior, the interest going to their age. Location. That's good. Location. Sometimes gender. That's great. So you're saying that keep location also in mind. That's good. For example, we have got on the coming 7th September, we have got Ganpati, 7th to 9th of September. It's Ganesh Chaturthi in India, and it's celebrated the best in Mumbai, Maharashtra. Therefore, if any animated movies or anything are there related to Lord Ganesha, those can be recommended in that geographical region. Great answer. Good answers, learners. Now we'll take a small pause. We'll take a small pause. This is how you make the recommendation engine better. All right. Coupons to
There is
customers.
one suggestion, Suryansh, on the YouTube live chat as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you can show the number of views on the content.
Excellent. Brilliant. So
This
now
is
you're
by
saying that
Nitin.
it's great.
Nitin
You know,
has left.
that's great answer, Nitin. That if we get to know the number of views that have number of people that have watched this. Brilliant answer.
Or are live watching right now also.
Or live watching, right? Or maybe Friday night or Saturday night, you switch on your TV and you want to watch something, and then you suddenly open, and let's say you open Squid Games and you see that a new season has come and 7 million people are watching right now in India. Okay, now that's a big
Yeah.
motivation
And
for
one
anyone to watch a
more,
trailer. Yeah, Rasha, go ahead.
this,
Vrushali,
there
explain
is
more
one more by
emotional marketing. Yeah, Rasha.
Adewale and Charles.
Say it again, Rasha.
So there's one more by Charles and Adewale, localized content, like show more localized shows, regional wise.
Okay, that's good. We'll
Recommendations.
take that answer when we discuss the content wala part. That's good. Any other, just like Hotstar? Okay, go ahead, learners. What else? What else? Okay. Any other answer we are getting? I think those all recommendations worked really well, Rasha. Now, learners, we have covered recommendation engine. The next question for you, learners, is I'll name it level 4 over here. Please give suggestions on how Netflix can make its content better. Please help me out. Go ahead, learners. What are your answers? How do you make content better for Netflix? Let's see. Okay, we've got recommendation from people who've already watched. We're good stem with recommendation. Region wise is good. Okay. Track viewing history based on regions. Okay, that's good. Language regional. Okay, first we have to see their actual need to improve content. Okay, based on search engine. Short content. That's good. Maybe because of time constraint, short content might work well. That's good. Learners, do you remember? I don't know. This happened when I was a school going kid. We used to be, we never had this Netflix and Prime, right? You remember we used to have TV shows for half an hour, out of which 12 minutes were only advertisements. Do you remember Sweet Life of Zack and Cody? Yes or no? Do you remember, there was this on Nickelodeon, something, Drake and Josh. Do you remember these shows? I don't know, they are there today, yes or no, but something known as Sweet Life on Deck came, right? Scheduled TV shows, right? We used to have fixed dinner time, 8:30, we're gonna watch them, right? Those were only 18 minutes or 15 minutes because the rest of the time were advertisements. So let's say Shaktiman, right? So let's say today I am someone who is super constrained on time. I can't watch 1 hour Kota Factory episode. And plus 6 episodes, 6 hours, not possible. Maybe I'm having my dinner. I'll just quickly switch it on, watch for 17, 18 minutes, Sweet Life of Zack and Cody types. Pretty happy, laugh for some time and switch it off. Maybe content with a shorter duration, which ends then and there. It has got no relation with the next one. Uh, one series that worked very well with this was New Amsterdam on Netflix. However, again, their shows were pretty long, 45 minutes or 1 hour. But the good thing was their shows, the episodes were not connected. So if you skip one episode, it doesn't matter. You can watch any episode. Adding more web series, okay. Price for quizzes. That's good. So we have some kind of option for quizzes. High resolution. All right, the content should always be high resolution. That's good. Prices. Any other suggestions, learners, to make content better on Netflix? Interactive content, share content option to friends. Okay, that's recommendation. Good, Pratap. Can you repeat question again? Prashant, the question is how do you make content better on Netflix? So someone is saying that region wise, language region wise, the content should be short. Maybe we can have quizzes in the content which can help in engagement. Go ahead. Mood analyzer. That's great. Now learners, here's another scenario for you. Okay. Should we eat healthy food or not? Just answer yes or no. Just yes or no in the chat box. Just quickly answer yes or no, right? Maybe, right? Okay, Ruchi is saying maybe. Now, today, if I open any of the cupboards that you have in your house, do I find more of junk or more of healthy? We all have chips packets, Doritos, so on and so forth, right? The healthy food will be there, but the junk part would also be there, right? Therefore, learners, it is someone said mood analyzer. It is very important to see how do you analyze this mood. One way is how was the content, you loved it, yes or no. The other way is learners. You're watching a show. How do you analyze the person is enjoying it or not? Give me your answers in the chat box. Watching duration, that's good. Watching duration. The question is, learners, how do you identify if I'm watching something, I am enjoying it, yes or no? Polls, okay, ratings. But real time, how do you identify it? I'm enjoying it or not? Real time. Stickiness, good. How do you do that? Okay, how do you do that? What kind of content user is consuming? Let's say I'm watching Quota Factory, but how many times paused? Good answer, Tanya. How many times it is paused? Okay, at that time, screen time, good. Binge watching, excellent. Good. Now you're getting good learners. See, the data may not come directly through polls or quizzes. The data is already there. Let's say if I'll give you a personal example. Mirzapur recently was launched season 3, right, on Amazon Prime. I literally fast forwarded that show because I didn't find it to watch each and everything. That gave feedback. Maybe the person is not enjoying it, right? Therefore, the live feedback of the user when you fast forward, when you slow down, when you pause, or maybe when you skip the entire episode, they give you real time data. This is how learners you analyze the mood of the user. When I was working as a consultant, we had a small situation. People from Mumbai, they might know something known as there was Goli Vada Pav. There's still something known as Goli Vada Pav. So they wanted to have what drinks should they offer along with Vada Pav. So now I would say, I would love to have Pepsi. I would love to, someone would say, I would love to have, let's say, shikanji or lime water or something like that, right? But how do you really analyze whether the person is wanting to have what kind of drink? So what they did, they set up a they set up a small booth outside a mall, and we offered free vada pavs. The only thing is that once you eat a vada pav, you need to play a game. Remember that loop game wherein you throw a loop, and the moment it lands on any of the item, that item is yours. We used to play that game in fairs and all. So we played that. We made them play that game so that we come to know what item is what people are throwing their loop at. They've just consumed vada pav. They're craving to have a drink. That's the moment they will choose what they really want to drink. And the answer was not Pepsi, Coke, or anything. The answer was tea. That's the reason it's more real time data you get from users. So mood analyzer, yes, works accordingly. Rasha, have I missed anything from YouTube or have I missed anything from the chat? Because I'll keep giving examples and all. Just let me know if I missed something. How much user has talked about the show? Good. How many it has recommended? That's good, Nirja. Like how we have in YouTube most replayed. Good, Pratibha. Binge watching. That's correct. All right. The speed at which. Excellent answer, Ruchi. The speed at which is played.
A lot of YouTubers nowadays are actually suggesting that you can watch my video, like 1.25x faster for a
Acha.
faster experience. So,
Okay.
so they are actually recommending that हमारा slow interview है, but you
Hmm?
can actually fasten
All
it
right.
by increasing the speed before starting
That's
the code stream.
that's good. Agree users. Now learners, this is how let's say you're given suggestions for content. All right, TED Talks do that. All right. Now learners, we have focused on two major aspects of our solution. One is improving the recommendation engine, and the other one is how do we improve the content. Let's say we have taken care of these two things, we believe that the 10% inactive user would come down to 5% inactive user, because we can go on and take around 2 hours to complete the solution discussion, but we'll stick to these 2 points as of now. Now learners, we've covered the solutions, right? We've covered the solutions. You know what I suggest, Rasha, instead of typing and creating text, why don't we create these live solutions now? So learners, here we come to the part wherein we teach learners how to make their capstones different from others, so that their capstones are not only read, they give a real-time experience. So learners, today what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to create a working wireframe or a working prototype of the solutions that we have suggested. I'll just stop sharing my screen. How many of you have heard of this tool called Balsamiq? I'll just type it over here in the chat box. Have you heard of this Balsamiq or maybe Figma? Right, you've heard of it, right? Now let's use Balsamiq. It's fine, those who have heard or those who have not heard, I'll just show you what I'm talking of. And the moment I screen share and I start playing around, you'll come to know what are we doing. Learners, if you're good till now, quickly type your name in the chat box like I have. Just quickly type your name in the chat box. Now, Suryansh, we're going good. We're getting what you're trying to say and we're going good. Hurry up, learners, because this gives a feedback. Real-time mood analyzer. This gives a real-time feedback how we are heading. So I'll just wait for my on folks on YouTube also. You're also just feel free to speak your name that okay you are up to the speed. By the time I'll quickly share my screen. Yeah, here we go. Screen share. Learners, my screen is visible because I'll be focusing more on uh, the Balsamiq part. Rasha, I hope screen's visible.
Yeah, it's visible. Yeah.
All right, sure. Here we go, learners. Learners, this is the home screen of Balsamiq, and for any tech product we create, it could be, let's say, we need to show someone the app that we are trying to say or a website that we are trying to make. We can show them how the product will work without doing actually any coding. That's what we're going to do now. All right, so I'll just delete all of these useless references, and I'll just begin from hmm, delete. Yes, here we go. Let's start now. I'll just rename it as we'll name it as home screen Netflix. Now learners, since we're talking of Netflix, let's consider Netflix Android app. All right, why don't we bring an Android phone over here? A smartphone. Here we have the smartphone with us. Now let's start creating a wireframe or a small design. Nobody, when we're talking of wireframing, we're not really worried where I'm putting what or what color I'm choosing. The whole concept of a wireframe is to show you how the solution will work. That's it. Let's say today we are going to work right now in creating a better recommendation engine in which our friends have recommended this, or we have an option wherein we get to know how many people are watching this show live, or how many people have really watched this till now. Let's start. Now we'll quickly bring in a small rectangle to show different Netflix. I'll just bring it over here. That's how Netflix is, right? Just give me a moment. Why Control C, Control V. All right. That's how the Netflix current UI looks like. It gives you a lot of screens and a lot of options. All right. Now what I'll do is I'll just select all of them, group them together, Control C, Control V. So we'll have here, we'll have one line here, and we'll have one line here. All right. And now Netflix has some kind of a Just give me a moment. Text label. Yes. Yes. Now Netflix says because you watched this. Another thing is Netflix says, top trending right now. That's how the rough UI of a Netflix looks like. Not exactly, but it says that, okay, because you watched this, so I'm showing you this recommendation. Because you watched this, I'm showing you this recommendation. Or top trending in your area are these. That's how the current UI roughly looks like. Now let's make it better. All right. Now what I'll do is I'll have a small link over here which says click for a new experience. All right, let's keep it this way. This is the current one. Control C, Control V, Control. Yes. Just give me a moment. Yes. Now we'll name it as. We need to add currently how many are watching or how many of you have watched. To show it better, let's just remove the last one to have more space. Okay. Now, yes. Over here, we can have another rectangle, or let's have a label that will show how many of you are currently watching. So it can have 1 million watching. Or if we, just give me a moment. Let's do it for only 2 so that we can explain it better. 1 million watching, and the other thing can be 10 million views till date. In this way, you are trying to show that, you know what, Suryansh? This is a new version. It simply says because you watched this, so on and so. I'm giving you a version which says 1 million watching, so that the moment you switch on Netflix, you know that 1 million people are watching. Now we can rename this as well as, let's bring in a subtitle. And we can mention over here as suggestion or as recommended by your friends. All right, I'll just increase the width. Yes. So now we can say that, this was, sorry, this was recommended by Rasha, and this was recommended by, let's say, Nirja. All right. Now in this way, learners, you're showing that the shows that we are looking at, we are telling number of people watching, number of people who have watched till date. This were recommended by your friends. So you can have multiple friends who have recommended this. Now, learners, let us link both of them. So I'll just rename it as a home Netflix new. And this can be, I'll just move it over here. No link. I'll place. Now, learners, let's play the show. Close. Okay, so this is the existing one. Click for a new experience. It says 1 million watching, 10 million views till date, recommended by so and so. And you can remove this over here because this is the new experience. Learners, now in this way, I've shown you a very simple way how you can have recommendation. Now, if someone else is submitting this capstone, they would be typing the entire story that recommended by friends, number of people watching, number of people watched till there. It's simple text. See how much time you saved of the person reviewing your capstone, how much time you saved of your own instead of typing this. Just by showing. Now, once you're doing this, you're showing first that you thought of a solution. Second, what you thought, you were not only writing it, you used a tool which is used by product managers, showing that you know this tool, and you made a prototype of that solution. So it speaks volumes of your capabilities rather than simply typing. Another reason why, learners, I would avoid you to use tapping, because today is the era of ChatGPT. All right. So the person reviewing it may not, should not feel that you have used some kind of a AI tool for it. So in this way, when you have click and use, you show the user that I know how to use this tool. This is the solution that I would like to show. And you don't need to have Balsamiq on your system to know this. You just come over here, press Control E, and all right, just export. It exports to a PDF. You can open it, and it says click for a new experience. It comes over here. So you can share this PDF with anyone. And if I am reviewing it, first of all, what I'll see is, wow, no text. So you can say it's a working prototype. Click, click, click. I can literally play around and understand what you're trying to hint at. I'll take a pause and I'll come back to you all. If you were clear with what we just saw, learners, that's a very small brief. I know many of you may not know Balsamiq and all, but that's fine. That's what we take around 3 hours for each tool. So Balsamiq session is 3 hours, wherein Balsamiq is taught on how to, starting from login, on how to create these kind of wireframes. All right. So if you're clear with what you just saw, just type yes in the chat box so that we know how many of you understood. And now we'll be waiting for some responses, and then maybe if anyone has any questions, you're free to speak now.
Should I share back my screen, Suryansh?
We'll just wait for a moment because I'll share the whiteboard now. All
Sure.
right. Learners, that's how you make your capstones better and different from what others have done. All right. I see. Can you please show? Did you link screen to? There's an option. I'll just show it once more, Rasha, and then I'll open my whiteboard.
We also will be sharing the recording of the session.
Yeah, okay, so recording is there, so you can have a look over there on the recording. All right, learners. Now let me just come back to my whiteboard over here. And here's a very small word that is that will bother you all your life. So the moment you become product managers, this small word will stay with you forever. Can you share the link for Balsamiq? Just Google Balsamiq. That's it. Google Balsamiq and you'll get the first link with the smiley person. Learners, you see this very small word, but carries a lot of weightage. Just give me a moment. Yes, do you see the word called matrix over here? This is the last part. I'm so sorry, learners. I'm taking more than the allocated time, but since you were responding pretty well throughout the session, I took more time. You see this word matrix. Now, learners, whatever happens, whatever new solutions, features you're launching, whatever ideas you're making, real-time solutions, the answer will come down. What impact has it made? You have made a new recommendation engine in which we friends can recommend to each other. That's perfect. But are people really using it? You said that the content should be more regional. That's fine, we have made regional content. Now what's the impact? Have we increased the engagement? So on and so forth. Therefore, learners, I'll come to my whiteboard now. Let's say if you have come up with an answer that, Suryansh, we'll make the recommendation engine better. All right, let's say you're saying recommendation engine better. Over here, learners, always remember, once you create this kind of a capstone, if you're explaining a new recommendation engine, let's say the way we did now, have a small paragraph over here which says matrix, because matrix is something which you need to type. So the matrix can be that if 10% of users are recommending it to their friends, then I believe that this is a success. See, you are not product managers at Netflix, so you don't know their criteria for success and failure, right? The only thing that is being looked at is, do you have that much ability to think of a matrix? The figures and all we'll give you, but can you think of a matrix? Another matrix can be whether those recommendations have really worked. Let's say 100 people recommended me. I simply blocked that feature and said, I don't want to hear any recommendations. Please leave me alone. Therefore, both sides have people recommended, have those recommendations fruitified. Therefore, learners, whatever solution you're showing in this smartphone, have a small rectangle over here which explains the matrix. This is how your wireframing, this is how your capstone will come out. Questions, learners, questions. We have covered matrix part. Matrix for content can be, if let's say average engagement time was per user 1 hour for every 2 or 3 days, by having regional content, how much impact has it made? Has it increased by half an hour, 20 minutes? Then we are doing good. Go ahead, learners. Now, the last line that you see is provide a detailed explanation. This is your PDF, which is in the form of Balsamiq wireframe. So, learners, any capstone, all right, will go in the business report, right, Nija? Because once feature is being discussed, whether it should be made or not, the matrix will go along with it. Therefore, learners, whatever capstone, maybe you're applying for a job and then you're given a capstone, just ensure one thing, that it goes in a form which is more engaging. How do we show the data? You don't need to show the data because you don't have the data. You'll think of a figure which you think is appropriate. For example, you thought 10%. 10% would look to be fine if people are using it. Just give me a moment. There's another question saying that should have matrix, even if it's, see, if it's mentioned, it must have. If it is not mentioned, it is good to have. Because somewhere or the other, it is being seen that do you evaluate what you're doing or you simply keep on doing. Do we need use case or any other diagrams in an agile project? Chirag, it again depends on project to project what we are looking at. But yes, use cases are the most common thing that we see in any agile project, because use cases go at every step. They go on different users, they go in form of testing, they go at every aspect. Now, learners will keep answering questions. That's fine. You want to see one capstone that maybe, when I submitted for, I don't know which company it was, I'll show you a live capstone. So the question was, they asked me to explain a product, any tech related product in a way that is way too easy to understand. All right. So by the time I look for that particular project on my system, I will be more than happy to take some questions now. So Rasha, we will be taking some question answers now. If learners have any doubts, any queries they would like to add on from both YouTube and chat side, go ahead, learners. Time is yours, and I'll try to open the other one that I would like to show you. Go ahead, learners. Time is yours. Rasha, you can go ahead and tell me any questions that are coming by the time I'm searching it on my system.
Sure, yeah. Folks, you can also move your questions to the Q&A box as well, in case, we have missed your question earlier as well. So we can also do that. Suran, will you be sharing your screen or should I share it?
Yes, now I have found it. I'll just share my screen.
Sure, sure. Yeah.
Learners, they gave me a concept called minimum viable product, MVP. They told that Suryansh, explain MVP in such a way that even a layman can understand what you're trying to hint at. Now, one simple way is you simply create a video, write a text or something. So I thought, let's explain minimum viable product in the form of like a story, like a conversation happening between a farmer and his son, who is a product manager. This is how it began. So I'm a big fan of aviation, right? So that you will see now. So I said, okay, let's start having a small conversation. So the father says, "Hi Rohan, how you doing?" Rohan says, "Hey Dad, I'm all good. Just completed my product owner certification. How you doing?" It says, I'm a little worried. What happened? All okay, farm looks good. Then he states his problem that, hey, Rohan, I am getting old and it's difficult for me to bend, squat, use khurpi. Plus, I'm so tall, so I need to bend a lot. And you know how hot it's getting in Uttar Pradesh. So it says you're right. He also says that I have to clear, weed rows that have come up just to ensure that my crop survives and my legs hurt. I don't think I'll be able to do it. So the son says, sure, let me help you out. Now the son understands what exactly dad does. So he says that, I'm a tall man. I have a height of 6 feet. First, I need to squat. Then I need to bend just to reach the weed which I have to cut. Then I need to identify which is the weed and then cut them off from the roots. Okay, so he says that's fine. Now he starts working on the first version of the product. It says, okay, farmer is there with the khurpi and these are the rows. He imagines, okay, he says that, okay, he needs to bench squat. This means we need to create something which has got low height, maybe a little taller. So that's how we proceed with the MVP one. He makes up a car and says, then the farmer says, this is good, but your car is crushing my crops. It says, it crushes my crops with its tires. So it's not working very well. Now he says, okay, let's see, why don't we make a drone? The drone may not have any tires, right? So it will not crush the crops. And instead of using a khurpi, I can use a small cutter, which is less lethal and it will not impact the crops. It will only attack the weed. In this way, the farmer can simply sit back, relax, while the drone will do its job with the camera and GPS. So, learners, that's how you make your capstones more interactive. Just give me a moment. See, learners, it's not only your answers, but how those answers are being presented. Could you please give us some advice on QA? Okay, we'll now take questions, Rasha. Go ahead. Let's start taking questions.
Maybe Suryansh, we can take this questions related to career in the end, in the Q&A part of the
Great,
session.
great. So career questions will take it up, learners, towards the end of the session. Request you to stay along. All right. Any questions related to project or the capstone that we have discussed, feel free to ask right away. See, what we covered in 1 hour, it is usually 3 hours for 3 capstones, right? Now, I showed you how to create a wireframe and all. In the session, I don't. The learners have already been taught how to use Balsamiq. So I made them discuss the solutions, and I tell them how it is to be done. They create it on their own. Go ahead, learners. Any questions related to, the capstone that we are looking at?
Folks, you can either share it on the chat right now, or you can, in case you have a question later, you can move it to the Q&A as well. So for the Q&A round we have. So we'll be moving to the Q&A in, like 5 to 10 minutes. Okay, the capstone, like what is the word are you using?
Okay, the literal meaning of what other members could be there at the project? Prashant, could you elaborate more? Tanya, the real meaning of capstone is something big that you've accomplished or you would like to accomplish. Since we're talking of professional learning over here, which encompasses variety of subjects and topics, and then you need to implement all of those topics at once on a single project. That's the reason we use the word capstone over here. I mean, other PMs, PAs, QAs, developer, other members could be there at the project. See, again, when you talk of a product manager, these people will always be there. Developers, your 70% of your interaction will be with developers. QAs, they'll come at the latter part, but developers will take up majority of your time. When solving this project, you're supposed to solve this project alone. So it's not a group, not a member base. It's a single uh, project. It's a project that has to be done by every learner. I think, Rasha, let's go to the next part of the session, wherein,
Sure.
yeah,
Yeah, we do have like a poll question for them to
yeah,
understand similar thing what you're asking as well, related to the career which we'll be talking
sure.
about.
Learners,
So what,
career questions, just hold on for a moment. We'll have a separate discussion as we proceed.
yeah. Feel free to add them to the Q&A box. With this, folks, we would like to, proceed to the program. But before that, we would love to know what, are the issues you're facing when it comes to pursuing a
All
career
right,
in
yes.
product
Learners, you can
management.
answer that poll. By the time I'll answer Nija's question, Nija says, learners, when we talk about surveys as solution, how does it help? Like, I mean, some some people often skip surveys. It depends, Nija, what kind of product we are looking at. For example, when you check out from a very good hotel, the feedback form that they ask you is a kind of a survey. And many a times people from that category of customers, they happily fill. However, if the same thing gets repeated for mass crowd, yes, many people skip surveys. So what happens next time you go on a trip, maybe booking through Make My Trip or something, if you complete a survey which is of a feedback, you're given 7% discount. And if you add some photos to that survey or a feedback, you get 10% discount. So these are the ways it is used just to ensure that people give surveys. But again, you can't completely rely on them. Maybe just for 10% survey, I'll randomly check everything and then give it. That's the reason. So what companies have done, for example, some companies like TripAdvisor, minimum 200 character survey has to be there. Without that, you can't submit. And they've got some filters on that as well. So only serious answers get in the picture over there. All right, learners. Go ahead, go ahead, go ahead. Just what's stopping you from becoming an expert product manager?
Yes, I think most of them have responded. Again, like this is a multiple choice question because there can be multiple concerns, right? Along
Correct.
with the concerns you're already sharing with us. Career questions, please move it to the Q&A. We'll take it in the Q&A around here. All above, so definitely like select all of the above. Makes sense. And obviously, if this poll does not cover your concerns, we can you can put down your questions in the Q&A box as mentioned. So yeah, I think last 5 seconds for the poll here. What is stopping you from becoming an expert product manager here? So yeah, after covering a really interesting case study here with Suryansh, and yeah, thank you for being such an engaging and enthusiastic audience here, and that makes the session even more interesting. When you have that kind of energy.
That's right. All right. I think we'll end the poll in the next 10 seconds or so.
Yeah, I'll end it in the next 5 seconds because I see most of you responded. So
Great.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let me end the poll and share the results with you folks and our expert Suryansh here. Let's see what have you voted as a concern for. 50% of you have voted for I don't have the practical exposure I need to become job ready. 34% of you have given votes for I can't find a program with a fully comprehensive curriculum. 22% of you have given votes for I find it difficult to learn from pre-recorded videos, and 38% of you have given votes for my work schedule won't allow me enough time for learning. So thank you so much for sharing that with us. Definitely don't have the practical exposure part. We're trying to solve that only by trying to show you the project demo, which this actually program covers, which I'll be moving on to. So talking about the SP Jain School of Global Management Professional Certificate Program in Product Management, quickly introducing you to the program. So this program comes with a comprehensive curriculum and industry-aligned learning path. We'll be deep diving into the learning path of the program, covering what this program covers, what are the electives of the program, what is the curriculum of the program. Also, one of the concerns which you have shared that you are not interested in just learning from the recording videos, right? So we have an online discussion supplement where you get to interact with the instructor and also your peers as well. And it is much more engaging than which what you've already seen with Suryansh. Like this is just a trailer of it. You actually get a very hands-on experience there. We'll be talking more about that. And the project we have just covered a demonstration of it. This program actually has many of these amazing projects as well.
We're looking at 6 or 5 capstones, and they cover
Yes.
Netflix, Nike, Meta, Instagram, Tesla, Facebook. So, yep, all these companies are covered.
Yeah, and your program duration for this one is 6 months. A lot of you are working professionals or clearly have like other commitments. So you can just complete it by giving 3 to 5 hours per week. I'm talking more about SPGen here. So what is exactly is the SPGen advantage here? So I'm pretty sure like most of you might have heard about the SPGen University, Global University here. So they have campuses, business hubs in Dubai, Mumbai, Singapore, Sydney, and they offer multi-city undergraduate and PG programs. They are globally MBA, program are ranked by international publications such as Forbes, Times, Higher Education, Wall Street Journal, The Economist, and Financial Times. And it is accredited by DEXA and KHTA, UAE, and CPA, Singapore. Talking more about that, but before that, I'm pretty sure you might have a question if I'm eligible to take up this program or not. So let me clear that quickly before we move on towards the curriculum. The eligibility and prerequisites for the program are candidates from non-product management backgrounds are welcome, and you need to have a bachelor's degree for this program. And also, you need to have at least 2 years of work experience in any preferred field. But again, it is not compulsory. So if you have it, definitely acts as an advantage. In any kind of field you have in professional experiences, right? It always helps you. But if not, also, that is not a compulsion here. You can still
Also,
join.
learners, based on all the sessions that I've conducted, in one session we have got people from finance, HR, hardware, marketing, tech, existing product owners, and they could be something from completely different backgrounds. So
And
it's not necessary to
that
have a
makes
tech
it very
background.
interesting, right?
Yes, yes.
You get to basically interact with folks coming from different organizations, and industries. So that's pretty interesting as well. Being a part of that alumni cohort, definitely. And also, let's move on talking about how this program prepares you. Before we move on, we do have few minutes left for the basically this webinar, but we have extended the session by 10 more minutes. So apologies for that in advance. We couldn't help, address the questions you had about the case studies and the kind of interaction we had. So just apologizing in advance for that. So please just have a little patience for us for next 10 minutes or so. So moving on towards how this program prepares you. So, Suryansh, if you can take us through the curriculum of the program, how exactly it builds the learners' product management skills here.
Thank you so much, Rasha. Learners, you see the journey over here. See, when people from diverse backgrounds, especially who are from non-tech, marketing, finance, hardware, customer service, HR, they join a particular session. The session begins by setting the ground, which is easily understood by everyone, which is a very simple, basic introduction to product management curriculum, wherein you're given a small orientation of what this career exactly looks like, and it tells you that no matter from what background you're someone who could complete this course to get this particular job. This is a big myth that most of the learners joining from non-tech background have. That Suryansh, I'm from a non-tech background and you're asking me to work in a tech firm. I'm not a coder, I'm not a developer, I've never learned anything related to engineering. How am I supposed to do it? So this is a myth that we try to break in the initial part of the curriculum or the course, that you don't need to be from a tech background to get this particular job role. This is what I would like to say you here. The job pertains mainly to management. And if you don't know coding, it doesn't matter. This one thing that I'd like to tell you all straight over here. It says then, and then once you clear that, okay, this is something which is your uh, part or something that you could do, we go on to some things or some topics that are pretty easy to grasp. I'll give you one simple example. Design thinking. It's a fun session. We got zero technical things over there. Then, you're given a small case study of Marriott hotels, how they try to implement something, but that didn't work out well. And it could be, let's say, pricing strategies. Why Dropbox offers certain period or certain GB of storage free of cost, and for the remaining ones they charge. Pretty simple, straightforward, practical aspects that you observe on a daily basis. No technical knowledge whatsoever needed over here. Now, once everyone is clear with certain simple fundamentals, we go on to the job roles of a product manager that you will be implementing. For example, if you have made a product matrix, right? That's where your KPIs come up. Nowadays, we are looking at a lot of Gen Next AI tools, right? For example, Gemini, we've got ChatGPT, GenCraft. So we have it's I think there in the elective, Rasha. Yes, it's there in the elective as well. So I take sessions for generative AI as well, wherein we cover these 3, 4 tools. At the same time, then we come to little bit technical part, which is again prototyping. What you just saw, Balsamiq wireframes, you just saw in front of you, right? That's a simple kind of a prototype that you made. Another thing is that when you're talking with UI UX people who take care of the designing part, so how do you supposed to talk to them? What are the things that you need to keep in mind? Therefore, the curriculum moves through live sessions, slightly increasing the difficulty level. And once you're done with all these conceptual knowledge, we go on and you all participate in my session. That's where when I'll meet you, which is introduction to product management tools. All the 4 tools that you see, Balsamiq, Google Analytics, Jira, Mixpanel, Learners, they all are hands-on. So I'll make you open those tools on your system. I'll give you challenges that you need to solve then and there. Therefore, that session is, maybe you'll be creating 20, 15 wireframes of Balsamiq. Maybe you'll be creating 15, 20 reports in Mixpanel. So it's completely hands-on. And then more of hands-on based experiences in the form of a capstone project that I'll cover in detail as we proceed, because 50% of you answered that, Suryansh, we don't have the practical exposure, right? We don't have the practical exposure. That is something I'll cover in detail when we go to the capstones. Rasha, maybe you can cover the electives if you would like to do
Sure. So we have electives here as a part of the program. They are optional if you want to take them up. Here, generative AI for product managers is a new edition, and product management masterclasses by industry experts, and also product management mentoring sessions as well. So as a part of the program. Moving on towards the caption projects, which already Suryansh was talking about. Again, like I think we already had a question, what exactly is capstone? I think you have answered that. But what are these capstone projects? We have covered one of them already. What other capstone projects they get to choose
Sure.
from, and how exactly are they?
Now, see, learners, thanks, Rasha. Now, see, learners, what happens that your concern is valid over here that Suryansh, I don't have practical knowledge. Let's say, even if I say I am a product manager through this particular course, I show certification, people will not take me seriously. Yes or no, learners? Just type yes or no in the chat box. What do you think of this, right? Nobody's going to take me seriously that, I'm a product manager with no experience, having no practical knowledge. The certificate is something that I can get it from LinkedIn. Also, certificate is something I can get it from anywhere. What weightage does it carry? Right? When we have career mentoring sessions, when I conduct career mentoring sessions with learners who have completed the course, this is something they also say. That Suryansh, what exactly weightage do we have? Because we have got zero practical experience. We are not a PM, zero work-ex. And without work-ex, how can I command such a high salary? Without work-ex, how will anyone give me this kind of a product manager role? Therefore, learners, to compensate for the loss that we have got in terms of practical knowledge, I personally recommend all learners to complete all 6 capstones. I'll give you a small example over here. So I had learners who are from finance background who have worked in Bank of America as a client or Wells Fargo. Now I tell them one thing, see, you've got something. Now learners, here's where practical knowledge comes in. Listen to this carefully. Agreed, you don't have a practical knowledge working with developers. Agreed. However, since you're from finance, can I say that you have got some practical knowledge of finance if you're working in a bank or in an NBFC? Yes or no? Just type yes or no in the chat box. That field you will have some practical knowledge, right? If you're working in sales, if you're working for sales, if you're working as a sales representative, you've got some knowledge of working in sales. You got some domain experience of sales. If you're working as an HR, you've got some domain experience of HR. Therefore, there are products in the world who want people like you who are domain experts in finance, domain experts in HR. So when I was in Accenture and we would have these client pitches, the person who would go ahead and pitch the product to the client was not the developer. He was a product he was a product guy. And the reason why he was a product guy is because that person was from domain. So client would ask, hey, something related to finance, if we are pitching, the client would ask certain regulatory questions. Will it fit in that scenario? The developer may not be able to answer that question, but the person from finance background knows what is being talked of. So the clients love talking to people who understand their language. Therefore, when you join a tech firm, you're at an advantage because you're from domain. And once you're from domain, you know how to talk to the client. And that's the reason you get highly paid. Because if you can convince the client, the company will pay you. Therefore, learners,
Thank you so much,
yeah,
Suryansh, for
yeah.
addressing the most important question, the practical exposure part to these projects which we are covering in this program. Also, who will be the ideal candidates to take up this program according to you?
Now we've got existing product managers, aspiring product managers. Now, learners, let's say, aspiring product managers, it's clear, it works well that, I'm currently, let's say, in HR marketing finance, I would like to switch. Therefore, I've got some kind of experience. The minimum 2 years experience is because you've got some exposure to working in corporate. That's the whole point. You don't need to be taught basic etiquettes or basic functioning of a corporate. You are already aware of it. That's the reason you understand things better. That's the reason aspiring product managers work well over here. Existing product managers. Now, learners, many a times it happens that we've got 2 years of working as a product manager, and let's say, some additional practical concepts by existing product managers help us. For example, if I'm working as a product manager in Zomato, I'm involved in my work. But what if I get a chance to interact with someone who is working as a product manager at Google or at some any other tech firm, or who has worked with as a product manager earlier? Therefore, it widens my exposure. That's the reason existing product managers for this particular curriculum can look for better exposure on what is exactly prevailing in the industry as of today. That's the reason it gets better for both the audiences.
Thank you so much for addressing that, Suryansh. And now moving on towards the product manager salary, right? As the demand is soaring, as so are the salaries. So definitely the pay part is also important, right? You're joining this basically program and you're trying to transition into product management field. So let's quickly talk about it. What is the growth here of a product manager? So just to give you an approximate idea of the salary which is offered for these roles, starting from an associate, assistant product manager. I'll be talking about the Indian region here because this program is for that. You get a salary starting from 5 lakh and it goes up to 20 lakhs INR rupees. And then goes up to product manager, starts with 5 lakh and goes up to 27 lakhs. And then you move up ahead to a senior product manager role, starting with a salary of 10 lakhs, goes up to a maximum of 40 lakhs. Then to a group product manager role, starting with a salary of 15 lakhs, goes up to a salary of 45 lakhs. And directorial product management role goes up to a maximum of 77 lakhs here. And similarly, chief product officer starts with 12.5 lakhs to 30 lakhs. And VP product management here goes up to 1 crore, I would say. So, yeah. I think we are talking about the numbers here. Maybe let you also quickly show like what are the number of job openings currently. Only
For
let's
product
look at,
managers, right?
yeah,
Maybe let's check LinkedIn.
yeah, LinkedIn and Naukri both. Let me also maybe show Naukri as well, Suryansh.
Sure.
Let's see what how many openings are there currently for product managers. Let's see real-time numbers here. Yeah, as of today, in India itself, we have almost 10,000 plus jobs for product managers available here. You can see all kinds of companies, MNCs to, like big companies here. Just showing you a quick example here. Again, like IBM is hiring for a product
Hmm.
manager. Company field, you can filter by jobs here as well. Microsoft, PayPal, being one of the companies. And also let's look at LinkedIn as well. So let me just search for product manager at India. Let's see how many jobs are there. Yeah. So for the India region in LinkedIn, we have 17,000 plus jobs as of today. Let's quickly browse through it. We can see Flipkart is hiring, BharatPay is hiring for product manager, Ease My Trip, Tesco, Slice, LinkedIn itself is hiring for a senior product manager. Yeah, you can see like there is so much demand here for product managers here. PhonePe is hiring, Google is hiring, uh, Airtel is hiring, Kia is hiring. Yeah, and the list goes on as we speak. So yeah, this is just to give you a quick example here, showing you the real-time numbers, not only just talking about the salaries and the growth here,
Hmm.
uh, to help you decide in terms of what is the demand in the industry here. Also, I think we have already seen the companies that are hiring these product management professionals on the real-time data which I've shown you. So just to give you a name here, Oracle, Microsoft, Adobe, Cisco, Airbnb, BookMyShow, Ola, Amazon, Facebook, Google, being one of the top companies here. But again, it does not restrict to only these companies. There are obviously thousands of companies which are hiring worldwide for product management roles. And also quickly taking you to a world-respected program advisory board we have here. Shirish Ragnikar, who's the CEO at Plant Era, Ramu Shankar Rao, who's a professor and corporate trainer here, and also Dr. Christopher Abraham, who's the CEO and head of the Dubai campus of SP Jain, and also Senior Vice President for Institutional Development. They basically make sure that Simplilearn is delivering as per standards of SP Jain Global Management Institute. Also, moving on towards the past learners and their success stories. I'm pretty sure you would want to know, right? Like, I think Suryansh has already mentioned the classes he takes. Similarly, he sees, folks joining from, diverse industries like IT, computer software, internet, financial services, retail banking. So it's a really good mixture of these industries, get to, study along with. And also the companies they come from, Accenture, TCS, Infosys, IBM, Amazon, Cognizant, Dell, just to name a few of them. And also, what are the alumni saying of this program? So Vasudevan Kumar here shares that uh, Okay, I think we have one question here. Folks, we have exceeded the time by 5 more minutes just to make sure that we're addressing all the questions we have here because of the demand we have gotten here during the webinar. So please, thank you for your patience and cooperation. We'll try to
We'll
finish it.
we'll have the career sessions, career questions as well answered
Yeah,
towards the end.
yeah,
Don't worry.
yeah. So please feel free to put on your questions in the Q&A box and we'll look into it in few minutes. So talking about the success stories here, Vasudevan Kumar here shares that after this course, he's changed his domain from his current job as associate product manager at Mobi UX Labs with a salary hike of over 50%. Sandesh MS here shares that he gained a vast career impact after doing the certification. He received a new job opportunity in an American-based investment company, Fidelity Investments, and with an incredible 300% salary hike. Wow. And Priyanka here shares that her decision to upskill herself in product management from Simplilearn was a great choice. And after completing the course, she received a new job offer with a salary hike. This course helped her to start her career journey of her interest and excel professionally. Saurabh Jain here also shares that the course has taught him product management in a better way. He knows various aspects of the domain. He has gained considerable skills to apply at his new job. And again, like there are thousands more. Maybe let's hear it from one of the learners, like a quick video, quick minute video of it. So let me just play that quickly.
When you are passionate about
Just a second, I'll just increase the volume as well.
when you are passionate about something, nothing can stop you. That is why I took certification program in product management from Simplilearn in collaboration with SP Jain Global University. As soon as I completed my course and posted my certificate on the LinkedIn platform, I received 5 to 6 good job offers. Hi, I'm Anurag Moitra from Pune. I am a mechanical engineer from NIT Surat and an MBA graduate from ICFI Pune. I have worked with well-known organizations like Wipro and PhonePe before joining the Vodafone Group as a product manager. Here, I am a part of the global product team developing SaaS-based products for the Vodafone markets. Taking this professional certification program was a strategic decision for me. About 1 year ago, I decided where I want to see myself professionally after 10 years. So I figured out that I am good with strategy, decision making, leadership, and business analysis. Hence, I decided to pursue the program of product management from Simplilearn, which is in collaboration with the SP Jain Global University, which is a very respectable and a renowned global university. My experience from the program was really amazing. The step-by-step approach taken by the instructors from SP Jain was beautiful. We started with product ideation, and towards the end, we learned about neuroscience, which is the psychological aspect of product management. We also learned about change management and the importance of leadership role in product management. It was an unforgettable experience for me. Certification has added a lot of value to my resume and to my LinkedIn profile. The certification has created a huge impact for me. The skills that I've acquired during the program is proving to be of great help in my day-to-day work. It has created a huge impact from how I used to work before and how I am working at present. Right now, I'm looking for roles which involve working on the product frontline from scratch, right from working on the ideation part to the development of the product roadmap to the building of the MVP and finally launching the product. To grow exponentially in your professional career, you need to figure out what your core skill sets are and accordingly make them even better. Keep upskilling yourself, keep growing.
Well, that is a quick story from our alumni himself. Yeah, with this, we would like to, quickly also show you We have Simplilearn's Job Assist program as well, which helps you with the job search. So we have partnered with IM Jobs here, where you get IM Jobs Pro membership of 6 months for free. You also get resume building assistance. We help with an SME who is assigned to you, who works with you, building the resume on the skill set and the job role you're applying for. And there is continuous feedback, which you get within 1 to 2 weeks, and you should get a finalized resume within 2 weeks from the first point of contact. And then you also get spotlight on IM Jobs, for highlighting your profiles to potential recruiters here. And in just to sum it all, I know we have talked a lot about a lot of things here. So just to quickly sum it all the things here, you'll be getting SP Jain, School of Global Management certificate here. You can see on the screen. This will be for the professional certification and product management. You can see it on the screen here. And also, if you'd like to check out more alumni reviews and check out, their profiles as well, we actually have those details in our program landing page. So I'll share that after this. So you can check out for yourself as well, much more details and download the syllabus from there. Also, we have a product management toolkit, training, Jira, Mixpanel, Google Analytics, and Balsamiq, which we have covered already. Hands-on learning experience. I think this webinar, definitely give you a really good glimpse of what is the kind of hands-on learning experience you get, where you get to solve real-life product problems with the capstone projects we have, like Tesla, Netflix, Nike, just to name a few of them. And also live online sessions with Google, Facebook, Amazon, and Microsoft, more and industry experts, and a final capstone project to add to your portfolio, to showcase that practical experience, which you might not have with this program. And also you get to be a part of the SPGen Global Executive Alumni Membership after the program as well. So that is again like a very good addition to have that kind of alumni network. With this, we would like to conclude, and we would love to know your interest. Are you interested in enrolling into the Professional Certificate Product Management Program by SPJ? And I'm just launching a poll here, which will be asking your interest. You can just respond by responding yes if you're interested on the poll which is launched right now. Folks, we'll be moving towards the enrollment steps quickly and then the Q&A. So yeah, to close it off. Thank you so much for having patience with us. So yeah, I see a lot of folks who are still here. A lot of them, a constant high. We have gotten a very high attendance today as well, and a lot of messages on the chat. A lot of amazing questions from you. Okay, I think we're getting a few questions from the YouTube live chat box as well. Great. We'll be moving towards the Q&A soon, but before that, few more seconds for the enrollment poll here. After this, I will be taking you to the enrollment steps of the program and also sharing the link towards the program with you as well in case you want to go and download the syllabus of the program later on. And the learning consultants from Simplilearn will reach out to you and help you with onboarding into the program and address any questions you have even after this webinar as well. I will be sharing the fee structure in the enrollment steps. Also, folks, in case you're not comfortable paying, the fee altogether, we do have installment partners as well, where you can, check out EMI options as well. So I'll be sharing all those details next. So last 15 seconds more for the poll. Are you interested in enrolling into the professional certificate program in product management by SPJ Global Institute of Management? And we are open to your questions in the Q&A box. So please quickly go and put down your questions. Any questions you might have about, it can be about transitioning to a product management role through this program. If you come from a completely different industries, or it can be anything, basically taking that plunge into the product management market here. So last 5 seconds for the poll here. Would you like to enroll into the program? So you can share your responses yes into the poll which is launched right now. Folks who are watching us live on a YouTube channel, you can also share your interest. So on the YouTube live chat box, you will see a link, basically highlighted in white on the top, which says Product Management Professional Program by SPJ. You just click on that, it will take you to the program page, and you just have to share your few basic details to share your interest. And similar enrollment steps will be followed, which I'm sharing it right now. Awesome. I think I'll be ending the poll in the next 5 seconds. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let me quickly end the poll. And thank you so much. Thank you so much, folks, for sharing interest here. Folks who are still exploring, I'll share the link towards, upcoming other categories of webinars and product webinars we have as well, in case you're still exploring, if you want to check out more such webinars. So let me just quickly take you through the enrollment steps here. So there are three simple, easy steps you'll have to follow. The step one is you'll have to submit an application to us at apply at askus@simplelearn.net. Step two here is, so SPGN will be verifying your qualifications based on the prerequisites and eligibility criteria which I've shared earlier. In case you have missed it, I'll share the link towards the program you can check out as well. Step three here is, based on the first two steps, SPGN issues an admission invitation to you for the program. The learning consultants from Simplilearn will help you out with all these three steps and help you out with any questions you might have about that as well. Also, we have our next upcoming cohort. So the thing is, there is one cohort which was in August. Actually, it just closed today. We have completely filled the cohort. So I actually had added initially that cohort for August, but it is closed now. So there is next upcoming cohort, which is for induction for this one is on 26 September. And the regular classes for this one, this cohort will be starting on 7th of December. So in case you're planning to join, within the next 2 to 3 months, this is a really good cohort to start with. We do have limited seats. As I mentioned, that there was a cohort which completely got filled and I had to remove it from
And
this.
I've got dates for this cohort, 7 December 1.
Yeah,
Today
exactly.
only I got the confirmation of the dates.
Exactly, like I had to remove the August one because it's filled completely. I had just seen that yesterday. So, and for the fee part here, for folks asking questions about that, so the fee for the program is 1,64,999 INR rupees, including taxes. And we also have EMI options available, which I've told you. So if you are looking for installment options, we have EMIs for as low as 5,615 INR rupees per month. We have EMI partners as well. I'll share the link towards the program for that. But even after this webinar, any questions about this program or any other programs from Simplelearn you're exploring, you can reach out to us and ask us at simplelearn.net. Now moving on towards the Q&A quickly, because I think a lot of you have been waiting for that. So
Sure.
Suryansh, over.
All right. Then I see a very interesting question which says there are jobs on product management, but all are asking experience. How does this certification help me landing in jobs? See, that's the reason it's good to have a couple of years of experience in any domain. Now, if a job is, let's say, asking for 2 or 3 years of work X, let's consider it's asking for 2 or 3 years of work X in specific field, and you have 2 or 3 years of work X in that domain. So that helps you. See, many a times what the requirements are different from what they exactly land up. So if a job experience they're asking for is 3 years and you've got 2 years or any year, it's not a bad idea to apply. Maybe seeing your capstones or maybe seeing your resume, it works. At the same time, it's not true that only WorkX is needed to become a product manager. We all got hired as freshers. I had no WorkX. So it's a myth that you must mandatorily have an experience. Tally hired without any WorkX product managers. Accenture hired us without any WorkX as product managers. So these two examples I can give you because I have got friends and family working in them. And I myself worked in Accenture. So yes, WorkX, not every job asks for. If it asks for, it helps you in this scenario. And what is a data science product manager? Does a product manager's job include? Yes. Again, it depends on the organization you are in, but certain tools like ChatGPT or we're looking at Gemini, they are commonly used on a regular basis, but it's not mandatorily that you will be using them. It depends on your job role entirely. Does a product manager's job? I have recently finished and is exploring consumer centric roles. All right. You're saying what is a data science product manager? Now you see, let's say if we're looking at Zomato would have definitely different product managers working, right? Because they've got different parts of the product. If they have a particular part of the product which pertains specifically to data mining or specifically to getting insights from that data, then they would have a product manager who sits there, who has good knowledge of data science and is managing a team of developers working in that field. Therefore, at that point, they're asking you to have some domain knowledge of data science. That's the reason, that's a prerequisite they've given you, have some experience of data science, and then you can apply for this role. So data science product manager in charge of the product that is catering to analytics, mining, and making sense out of the data. That could be pertaining to reporting, maybe using of tools like Power BI or Tableau. It could be pertaining to something related to Python, wherein you have a team of developers who works using Python to mine data. I've completed my business analyst course and I have 4 years in different, but I'm applying for, but my resume is not shortlisting. See, Soumya, if your resume is not getting shortlisted, then there could be multiple reasons. First, what are you highlighting in your resume? Try to highlight as many projects or as much work ex pertaining to those words. See what happens. Let's say you're applying for a BA or you're applying for a PM role at, let's say, Uber. All right. And Uber has specifically asked for certain terms: prototyping, UI, UX experience. Therefore, it's difficult, but try to have a separate resume for every job. So if you're sending for Uber, look at certain jargons that they're looking for and try to have those jargons in your resume. This will increase your chances of getting shortlisting. Because what happens is they simply run an algorithm to look for certain words. And if those words are not found in your resume is not getting shortlisted somewhere. So try to have those words that they've asked for and try to highlight as much as practical exposures of your career. Could you please give me some advice for a QA having 7 years of experience and wants to not considering but like interview prep roadmap highlighting the resume? Additionally, what tips some who wants to get into OT? I mean, how to get the domain knowledge. Now, Nija, right? Nija, let's say you've got good 7 years of experience and you want to transition to a BA PMC. One thing is, I'll give you simple, straightforward options. One thing is you study for CAT, get into a B school, pay a good amount of money, and then you'll automatically transition because your campus hiring will work accordingly. But that's going to take 2 years time of study, and it's going to take around 6-7 months more of getting in the admission process. That's roughly 2.5 years, and it's going to cost you a good amount. If you would like to transition to a product manager's role, I would suggest you start solving as many capstones projects as possible. Let's say you decide that, Suryansh, I want to transition, I want to show the world that I'm transitioning to a PM role. Do something which shows that you are some kind of aspiring product manager. That could be completing certain capstones, that Netflix one, as we discussed, Nike one we discussed the last time. The reason why certain certifications help you is they come out as a credibility factor. So let's say today I decide, hey, you know what, I would like to become a dancer. Now if I go ahead and say, hire me as a dancer, I dance really well, they said, okay, we may consider, we may not consider you, but the moment I show a certificate that I am a pass out of Shamak Davar dance classes, it adds some kind of credibility. That's the reason certifications play important role. They add some kind of credibility, but only certifications don't help. Therefore, your work that you do outside your current profession to become a product manager, for example, solving capstones, uploading those capstones on your resume so that I can see see those capstones, I can play around with those resumes, they help you in a better transition. And you're saying that, would you recommend OTT domain? See, I mean, how to get the domain knowledge. Nija, if you're looking at getting domain knowledge or to get in the OTT domain, the best way would be to get in a OTT organization through a role. If you're looking at a QA, you want to get in a OTT organization through a QA role, or you want to show that you were doing quality assurance, now you transition to a product manager, and you one way start applying to these OTT platforms. Knowledge this freely available on countless platforms. The reason I don't recommend is it won't help you getting selected. So the real knowledge would always get the hands-on knowledge would always come by working over there. My personal suggestion is try to have one or two OTT platforms where you have applied and see what responses you get. Even if it's getting rejected, that's fine. Pursuing a PG course in BA from Simplilearn. So any tips on highlighting my learning experience? First of all, we'll like to reshape it instead of learning experience to hands-on experience. Okay. Therefore, wherever you're highlighting your experience, try to highlight as much work as you have done. All right. So if you're saying that you're completing this BA course, in your education, on your resume, this certificate will come and it should end there. What you've actually learned should come in the form of your projects. So if you have a BA, you have completed, let's say 3 or 4 projects. So mention them and have a QR code wherein I can scan and go to that Google Drive link where I can play around with your PDF file. In this way, you're highlighting your hands-on experience and your certificate is acting as a credibility factor. I hope I've answered your question, Nija. Next question, learners. Go ahead. Open to more questions now. You've got good number of questions. Ask. Rasha, any question I've missed or any question you'd like to highlight? Go ahead, learners.
We have a very similar question on the YouTube live chat box by Anne Ruth here. I'm in my final year of BCom. Will this course help me for getting placed in product management roles? Like if I take up this course?
Okay, let's say if you're doing BCom, most of the career options that come out as you pass out as a BCom graduate, uh, Big Four, they hire you in auditing. All right. Banks, they hire you some kind of a relationship manager. These are the roles that you're looking for a immediate transition. My personal suggestion would be if you're in final year and you're just completing your BCom, take up a job role in an industry that you aspire. Since you are mainly from commerce background that I can see, your interest would be maybe in finance. Let's take that as an example. Try to get in a financial institution. Once you're there in a financial institution, then increase your domain knowledge. Once you are sound enough with your domain knowledge of that finance or maybe capital markets or insurance, then the transition to product management would be much easier, because as we saw earlier, data science product manager, you will be going as a product manager with finance specialization. Therefore, as a simple graduate, I would recommend you to get in an industry which provides you with good domain knowledge. And for that, strong recommendation is get in a bank. Axis Bank, Kotak Mahindra Bank, they are extensively hiring for relationship managers. Axis Capital is also hiring. Therefore, get in these organizations and avoid getting in big fours, because over there you will not get any domain knowledge.
Thank you so much for answering that question, Suryansh. I hope that helps, Anne. And I think, yeah, I think with this, we'll have to move on towards the closure of the program. So sorry, folks, if there are still questions, you can still reach out to us after the webinar at askus@simplilearn.net, and learning consultants from Simplilearn will help you out. So please don't worry about that. And yeah, with this, would like to quickly also thank Suryansh here. And also, I'll be sharing his LinkedIn, ID as well. So in case you're sharing the certificate or screenshots or a screen grab of the program, you can, quickly go and, also follow him for updates there. I'm sharing it on the chat here for you. So you can, follow him there for updates, tag him, for any kind of, basically insights you have about the program. If you're sharing a certificate as well, certificate poll is coming next for folks who have been patiently waiting for that. And yeah, with this, I would like to thank Suryansh once again. First of all, like, thank you for being so patient. Thank you for being, so amazing, like with the project demonstration we did. And that was a really good, interesting learning session for every one of them. I'm pretty sure. Folks, you can let us know on the chat here as well. How was the session for you? And yeah, with this, we would like to, close the session. Would you like to say something to them before we move on towards the closing of the session?
Thank you, learners. The best part is that we had a pretty engaging session,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
that kept
And
the
it was
ball
it was
rolling.
a constant high number, throughout the session, like
Mhm.
the number of attendees we had like really good attendance as well. So yeah.
Thanks a lot, everyone. And thank you so much, Rasha, for yet another successful webinar with you.
Thank you so much, Suryansh. Thank you, thank you. And thank you so much, folks who are sharing appreciation on the chat as well. Now, I'll be quickly launching the webinar certificate poll with you. This is how the certificate will look like. And you can see a lot of folks are already sharing it, across their networks on LinkedIn. And I've shared the link as well. Let me just share it. Yeah, this is the link of the hashtag which I was talking about. I've shared it on the chat. Hundreds of folks are following it. 200 plus folks have already shared their insights. They're getting a lot of support from the network as well. Yeah, and you can use the hashtag SimplyGrow. And now I'm launching the poll for certificate, and where you'll have to basically submit your full name. So please do that so we can personalize the certificate and send it to you. So I've launched the poll. Let me just go back to the certificate as well, so you can have a look at how it looks like. Yeah, this is the certificate. And the poll is launched right now. And please make sure to enter your full name correctly, which you want to see on the certificate. So we should be able to send you the certificate within 24 to 48 hours after the webinar. And the recording as well over a separate email, and also details about the program as well, in case you want to check out more details about the program. So you should receive that over mail as well. Also the link towards the program as well, right? So I'll just share that as well, just a second. Yeah, I'm sharing the link towards the program on the chat as well. If you want to go and download the syllabus, you can do that as well. Thank you so much, folks. Thank you for the appreciation here. Shine says thanks. Nija says awesome session. Tripati says wonderful session.
Thank you
Sanya,
all.
most wonderful session. Kaiki says thank you. Prajapati says informative session. Thank you so much, folks. Thank you for the appreciation. We do have one post-webinar survey feedback as well. There'll be only one question. What can we do to make these webinars better? So you can leave a feedback. We will look into the suggestions you give us. It will be automatically launched on Zoom once we end the session. So you can just leave us a feedback there, or suggest any topics you would like us to cover. So we definitely will look into it. So,
Thank you all. Take care. Good night.
thank
Thanks,
you so
Rasha.
much, Suryansh. Thank you. Have a good
Bye
night.
bye.
Thank you.
Bye
See you
bye.
another
Good
time.
night.
Thank you so much. Awesome, folks. Last 5 seconds for the poll here. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And thank you so much, everyone. Thank you. Thank you for being an amazing audience, wonderful audience, I would say. And thank you for having so much patience. We did exceed the session like almost by 30 minutes. So thank you so much for that. And have a good night, folks. Have a good night, good morning, good evening, wherever you're joining us from. So thank you so much. Thank you.